Hey Kurt, this is Richard Wilson from Mad Shelley Films, and we have a message for you.
This is Mad Shelley Films, and you're listening to Inspirado Projecto Radio.
Let's see what the neighbors. Let's see what the neighbors are up to. All right.
Thank you, my friend. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, thanks for submitting it and taking the time to do so.
So what'd you guys listen to while I was gone? Did you listen to it or did you fast forward through it? I didn't hear a word that they were saying. What I like to do with these things, if I hear sounds going on out there, I'll put the microphone in here and I'll set it right there. And then I come back and we see, after a couple minutes, I don't even listen to this stuff, to be honest with you. You're the one listening to it. So you tell me, what did you discover? I'm in the midst right now of uploading the Yachtly Crew DCP to our DCP service, simple DCP, for KaPow. So we'll see how this goes through. Oh, there we go. I plan on... There we go. I plan on... There we go. All right. Where'd that go? My email. Today's the due date. 30th. I'm squeaking by here. If they say no to this, then, or if they say this doesn't pass, because they'll still let you decide to approve or not approve it. So, okay, good. Okay, there we go. Confirmation of sent files. Yes, Yachtly Crew infomercial. It's going to play at least twice during the festival. Yeah, 828 megabytes. Isn't that crazy? How much information files use up these days? It's crazy. It's astounding. It's a mind blaster, right? Isn't it a mind blaster? Holy moly. It's a mind blaster. Ideally, we'll have this up and going before we know it. I think we're going to have to start delegating certain things to certain people. Oh, yeah, I got to get him the final draft file. Wow, this is crazy. He is just really doing a great job with this. each one has its own page. I mean, it's crazy. Each one has their own, I mean, he is so detailed with this. It's crazy. I mean, he's putting up all the links. He's really going deep into this thing. Matthew Jones, man, thank you. I mean, I'm so glad we joined forces with this guy. Oh my God, he's phenomenal. Everyone that we've joined forces with here has been someone who's got a business that they could put up as one of the sponsors. They got, I mean, gosh, this is crazy. Official selections, this whole page, bam. Yowza. Yeah, they got their own page here, and then bam, you click on that. It takes them to a whole separate page. Oh my gosh. I mean, he is going beyond, far and beyond. I mean, this is crazy. Check it out. Go to KaPow.iff. KaPowIFF.com. Go on to KaPowIFF.com. Your head will explode. Your head will explode. There is just a whole lot of stuff here. Yikes. I mean, this is just nuts. Wow. Yeah, all these last minute things here I got. Wow. Wow. So crazy. Wow. I'm so excited about how all this stuff is evolving. Oh man. I mean, I'm just looking on this page here. Look at all this stuff this is just crazy. All this stuff, it's like, wow. Sponsors page, let's see here. Who we got? Oh, I see. The sponsors are for those who want to become sponsors. The sponsors page. Right.
Hey, Mr. Inspirado Projecto, how are you? I love the messages he sent me. They are awesome, and when I get to putting another episode out there, I'm probably going to use them. Just an FYI. Thank you so much again, and yes, I appreciate it completely. I do not mind putting your name out there. So keep them coming, my friend. Hey, stay creative. Keep your head up. And have fun on tour, if you're still on tour. I don't know. I've been away for a while, so have a good one, my buddy.
Thank you, Awesome Sauce, for that phenomenal message. Thank you so much. Also, the language, Mr. Language. Thank you so much. Awesome Sauce. I enjoy having my celebrity friends, my vast array of celebrity friends to endorse your podcast, so to speak, to put out the words to their friends and family about the merits of listening to your podcast. This is something interesting. I'm driving my sister Jenny's car right now. Something happened where she started noticing these charges going on her PayPal. A couple $100. She's going, what the heck? And PayPal, like her statement said that she, her bank statement said that that through PayPal this funding was coming through, but then she'd check her PayPal and her PayPal would not register what exactly they bought. In fact, it didn't even pop up on there. So some thief out there figured out how to breach the security. They breached the security. So she can't use her card, so I'm going to go get some gas right now. And I started I figured I would get to podcast. I love this. I love podcasting while I'm driving. Because the car, I have the window open, but usually if you got the window closed, it becomes sort of a soundproof studio. Welcome to my soundproof studio. Welcome to my natural habitat. Welcome to my original habitat. My homemade habitat. Welcome to my sound studio habitat. Now see, we're right out here in a precarious position. Sort of got some traffic here. What made me decide to take the side streets instead of driving the regular streets? What compelled me in those moments in time? What was it? Ideally, this person will... I know I'm supposed to hail to them. Hail to the king, baby. Uh-oh. Alright, here we go. I'm zipping. They're dipping and dippity-doo-don. Ha-ha. Here we go. There we go. So I've been noticing. So I signed up with a TikTok account. So I can use those really cool filters in there. I like combining them. Combining those with the filters that I get in the stories of Instagram. I'm having a blast. It's evolving my excitement, my curiosity. And the more that I dig around in those, what do you want to call them? GIFs? The more I dig around in there, the more you just find so many little nuggets. And I'm learning the art of pinning them. I'm learning how to do it, I think, the right way. At least how I intend. Now, you always get those really fun, those happy accidents. I put those in quotes. I'm just taking what David Lynch says, the happy accidents. He loves those. He looks forward to those things. I think that's when you're willing to embrace something that you did not intend in the first place. That takes guts. That says a lot about the psychology, the person who is doing that or not doing that. Because that if a creator is able to embrace those spontaneous happy accidents in those moments, you know what else that says about them? It says a lot about their character. Okay, let me just take it a step further. So I'll put it this way. What's good about embracing the happy accident, the unintended outcome? How cool is that? It's just an unintended outcome. It's not a bad outcome. It's just not what you envisioned it to be. It's not a bad outcome. It doesn't have to be regarded as bad. David Lynch has successfully taken the power away of a of a dislikable trait that cripples so many filmmakers, which is unintended consequences, for the lack of a better word. Unintended results. So, he takes the power away from that altogether, out of the equation. He goes, okay, you know what? Rather than going, oh, how dare you, crazy unintended thing happening. How dare you, unintended thing happening right now. Try to thwart my creation. How dare you try to knock me off track. And instead of, instead of even having that in your brain as an option. See, that's the other crazy thing too. Removing that as an option. What happens when you remove that option? Well, what is that option? It's filled with, what is it filled with? What is that energy? That option of getting angry, getting bent out of shape. What is the energy that's connected with that? What's the outcome? What's the value of it? Well, what happens? What are the ingredients? Well, frustration, anger, forcing things, non-cooperative, stubborn. So, those are those traits. Now, let's say you take away all power of an unintended consequence. You take away the definition, you take away the energy that's associated with getting bent out of shape. What are you left with? Okay, well, you want a different option. What are you gonna do that in that opposite way? You're gonna embrace it. You embrace it. That's the power right there. Embracing it, making it part of the scenery, making it a part of the reality, blending it in with there. That's what perfect improv is. The only reason why anyone says that something is awkward is because they realize they dropped the ball on an idea. They didn't contribute to it. If they're given that extra option of being able to, in a sense, redeem themselves or to once again contribute to it, or to aid in the assist, so to speak, then look at that. Now there's a different. Now they can kind of erase the. They can erase the embarrassment, I suppose, of dropping the ball. They can erase the aw shucksness. Hold on a second. I got to find out about this. Hold on, I'll talk. That's one of the interesting things about Stanley Kubrick. I saw Lolita for the first time last night, and so I saw the documentary about him that comes with this box set. And from what it looks like, the people who talked about him, they said that he allowed them to try out every single option. This is why, we always hear about these stories that actors and everybody would just be exhausted on set, because he would truly exhaust all options. If they had an idea, he'd go, okay, go ahead, try it. If someone else had an idea, he'd go, okay, try it. That's beautiful. That's perfect. Because now when you want to go try an option, I think one of the great things is that your fellow actor or actress or cinematographer, director, etc., knows what that effect looks like, knows that you can throw those little nuances in there. Peter Sellers is amazing, completely committed to his roles. Oh my God. It's really cool to see. Really cool to see. So these actors, the reason why they're so good is because they They shaved off all ideas of, oh my God, I got to hit this one thing out of the ballpark. You know, oh my God, we're only doing 3 takes. I better hit this out of the ballpark. You know, there's not a stiffness. There's no self-awareness. It's taken away the hesitation in moving forward with the creation of that reality. It's taken away all hesitations. And what you're left with is the excitement in exploring new options. People love that with Stanley. They're like, okay, what if I try this? What if I try that? What if I try this? What if I try that? I think if you could just keep running through it like that, run through the scene, run through the scene. This is one of the things that helped out with Bloody Bobby. We had 2 cameras running on there, and that helped out so much. And then me and the 2 girls, we ran through it. And so it was like bop, 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 ping pong. And then it came time to shoot it. And so we were just bam. We saved a lot of time for those guys. So we just kept running through it. Oh man, it was so much fun. All right, we're back now. I got the gas in the car. We'll talk to you. Today's Sunday, the 1st. It's Josh Eisenstadt's birthday today. He invited me and some other folks to go out to Santa Monica Pier. There's a restaurant over there, and he said it's on the end of the pier. So I'm just going to keep walking when I get there, and just let the vibe take me to where I need to go. What's interesting is he is going to be showing 3 films September 15th at KaPow Intergalactic Film Festival, otherwise known as KaPow IFF, over there at NoHo 7, Lemley, North Hollywood. And he's going to have 3 showings. It's a 10-year anniversary of a movie called Dark Real with Lance Henriksen and Eddie Furlong. So that's going to be really cool. That's going to be really cool. Because he's got that. He's got a movie called Inner Balance. And then a movie called The Making of Gnome Killer 2. And so he's going to have, basically we're blocking off from 7:30 until just the rest of the night so he can just kind of take over that theater. And Dana Ashbrook, a.k.a. Bobby Briggs, he's in the short film Inner Balance. So that would be awesome to see him in the audience. Some of these folks that he knows who are from Twin Peaks, some of these folks were at his premiere, Spreading Darkness, and I was able to meet them. And it was actually through that I was able to parlay that into interviews on Inspirado Projecto on the radio on K-Chung. So that's fantastic. And so I'm looking forward to more of that tonight. After that, we're going out bowling someplace. So what I'd like to do is interview these guys. I got my podcast with me wherever I go, you know? Wherever I go, there it is. So I'm going to see what happens with that tonight. See if anyone is game enough to be interviewed and considered for the podcast. Plus, it would be great if I could get some more of those nice little promos, those endorsements. Those are always great. So let's see what we can have. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do tonight, and see if that ends up working out in our favor. I'd like to believe it will. I don't have any reason not to believe that it will, or any reason to believe that it won't, for that matter. So, yeah, we should see how it evolves, because sometimes folks just don't want to be interviewed. Sometimes folks just don't want to be asked about their passions, their talents, etc., etc., etc. Some folks do. Some folks are very excited and enthralled to reveal that kind of information about their hobbies, talents, passions, etc., 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 all that great stuff. All that great stuff that makes them cook. I think I was telling you, what was it? What's the name of it? Waging Heavy Peace. That's the name of the Neil Young autobiography that I'm reading, and I keep messing up the title, but it's Waging Heavy Peace. And he talks about how, he's got all these inventions, he's got these projects, he's got all this stuff that he works on, and then, he loves building stuff, putting that stuff together, and then it reaches a point where he goes off and he makes music, because that's what gives him that calming aspect, being able to just make music. And there are pros and cons of working with a team and then versus just working by yourself. Ultimately, you're going to need a team. You're going to need others to help get some stuff out there in some fashion. But that initial, let's say music, painting, those kinds of things, you don't need any permission from anybody. You don't need anyone to okay or not okay what you're doing. You're the author, you're in charge of it, and you're the one who's calling the shots on such things. In which case, sometimes that can be scary for folks. They want to have some sort of structure, a blueprint they can fit in, something that was already, sort of previously set up, so to speak, and then just sort of go along with that flow. Even those who, think about this, even those who don't go along with the flow, the funny thing is they actually are going with the flow according to someone's rules, someone's regulations, protocols, etc., etc., etc. Someone is beholden to that. And, maybe it's a 9-to-5 job. Maybe it's, it could be anything. It could be rules with just simply bicycle, staying allegiant to bicycle rules on the road, or what have you. I'm having some ingenious and clever and insightful what's what I'm thinking of? Insightful insights concerning walking down the street with slow-moving old people who sort of meander about the entire sidewalk. I gotta ask. I do a lot of walking. I'm on the sidewalks a lot. When you're on a sidewalk and you're walking, I guess this all depends on where you're listening to this at, but let's say, for instance, you're listening to this in the United States, where we drive on the right side of the street, do you try to stay on the right side of that to kind of give an order and an idea to those who are also walking? Like, okay, cool, we walk on on our right side, so to speak. Or are you someone who sort of meanders all over the sidewalk? Sometimes I'll walk on the left side of the sidewalk if I don't see anyone else coming up towards me. Or if I see that, I'm on the right side of the sidewalk and I see that they're sort of moving from their right into my lane, then I'll use the other side of the sidewalk. And then the next question is, the next imperative question is, what is your sort of consideration level when it comes to that? Do you sort of suss out the situation? Do you look at what's going on? Like, here comes someone walking towards me, and I'm going to accommodate them. It's a give and take situation. Or are you the person who just goes, I'm not moving, bam, this is where I'm at, bam, that's what's happening, and that's all there is to it? Because when that happens, it really is an interesting thing, because those who are trying to get out of your way or to make accommodations for you, if you don't make accommodations for them, sometimes they're not left with any choice but to just stop and stand still. I'll do that sometimes. I'll just stop and stand still. If I see that they're taking over the sidewalk and walking towards me, I'll just stop and stand still. Sometimes I'll slow down. I walk really fast. I'm a short guy. I've always had tall friends, so I have had to walk fast. So then what I do is I slow down real slow, and then I let them make that decision. The interesting thing, though, is when you're walking behind people and they're completely unaware and or uncaring towards that idea of going, hey, let's, just in case someone's behind us, wants to get past us, let's just kind of move over to the right side here. Let's make enough room on the sidewalk. It's everybody's sidewalk. Those are always the most interesting considerations to have. Walking on sidewalks, walking through grocery stores. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I'm about to go down to the subway. I'll talk to you later. I just saw a sign for Gumbo. I guess it was a food truck and it had Gumbo, which then reminded me of Gumby. I'm sure many people have done this. I just thought it'd be so funny because Gumby is like clay. It's made out of clay. Wouldn't it be so funny if Gumbo is just made out of gumbo? It's a character. It's just a sloppy, liquidy, food stuff kind of character. Maybe people you keep trying to eat him or something, or maybe he just makes a mess. Gumbo. Maybe is it a bowl of gumbo that just kind of slides around? He's a spicy bowl of gumbo. Gumbo. I just had another thought. What if I was reminded of Rambo? There's gonna be another Rambo movie. What if the movie was called Gumbo, and instead of bullets and explosions, he shot out a bunch of gumbo from his cannon. Gumbo grenades. They explode and people are like, it's so hot. It's just like this really hot gumbo that's just splash. Or maybe instead of a grenade, maybe it shoots out like bowls of gumbo, and then people, it distracts them. It distracts the bad guys, and then they run over there and just gobble up all the gumbo. Think about it. Could be a winning series. I am now walking to the pier. I realize we always hear about this kind of thing. One of the big keys to the manifestation is almost not really paying attention to that outcome, not really expecting that thing to happen, really. Or rather, I'll put it this way, not really putting pressure on that thing to happen. And the reason I proceed my story with that is I was just sitting on the subway. I'm walking, by the way, right now to the pier, Santa Monica Pier. And I'm walking on my way to Santa Monica Pier, and I was just sitting there thinking, wow, I feel really good right now. I feel really good right now. I feel totally fine just being here on a train. Not needing, not feeling, not expecting some sort of buzz, if you will. I love coffee, as you might have heard me talk about many times before. I love me my coffee. And I love the buzz I get from it. I love the ideas I get from it. I'm addicted to the ideas, is what it is. It's the ideas I'm addicted to, folks. Oh my God, this is Shangri-La right here. Shangri-La of scooters. I see these things all over the place, man. I don't have any stickers with me. I got my postcard, though. Got my postcard. So, while I was sitting there on the subway, I thought to myself, I'm feeling really good right now. Everything's cool. And then all of a sudden, the fella that was sitting next to me, all of a sudden, I noticed him out the corner of my eye. He's drinking something. He was pouring something into a plastic cup. And I thought, oh my God. And I was sitting there thinking, I was seconds away. I was about to say, oh, you having some road cocktails? And I was just going to say that, just for kicks. You know, not actually thinking that he was really, truly drinking alcohol. I was just going to say it, just to be a wise guy. Oh, having some road cocktails? And so I just kind of put that in my brain. I was thinking about asking him. I didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, a few minutes pass, and then he goes, hey, would you like one of these? And I just thought maybe it was an energy drink or something. No, it had 9%. It was some, oh God, what was it? I threw the thing away. A thin can, 9% alcohol in it. It had vodka. Vodka is now coming out in cans. They are releasing these kinds of things for the general populace. Like, for instance, when I was at the Yachtly Cruise Show over at, where were we? What town was that? When we were at, where was Yachtly Crew? Oh, it was that concert. It was a part. It was the, it was that place. Capistrano. Oh no, wait, San Marcos. That's what it was called. Yeah. They had these things called over by the pool area at the bar. They had these things called limeritas or something like that, and it was basically a lime margarita in a can. I couldn't freaking believe it. Lime margarita in the can, just right there. There it was. And it's cool. It's crazy to see that this stuff is now evolving. We're seeing much more of this stuff out there in the wild. And right here in the wild, I was sitting on the bus, and the guy, or on the subway, and he offered it to me, and I guzzled it down. He had a plastic cup. I just guzzled it down. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm at the corner here of Ocean and Colorado. About to. This train let me off right here, right at the pier. I mean, this is perfect, right where I need to be. And it's just crazy out here now how marijuana has just become such an open thing, now more than ever. And here we are, just some guy walking along, hanging out on a corner, just smoking a big joint, and getting a contact high over here as I walk through his cloud. it's really quite fascinating just to think that this is something that happens now. It is something that's just, here it is. It's just out here. It just happens. Some people drink canned vodka on the subway. Other people smoke their joints. Wait a second. What is going on here? We're on the bridge, and there are no cars on here. This is fascinating. This just shows you how long it's been since I visited Santa Monica Pier. Last time I was here, there was a whole thing here where cars could park down there. And now it's just pure, just pedestrian central. Incredible. Pedestrian village. Pedestrian city. Just pure. I mean, if you were to look at what I'm looking at right now, you just see tons of people just up and down. Incredible. So it just goes to show you, folks, you can will into existence. Oh my God, are you kidding me? You're going this way?
Yeah,
You're going this way. I was just talking to my podcast about the fact that you handed me that the vodka on the train, and then I was talking about how crazy it is. Number one, I was like, some people drink vodka out of a can on the subway, and I go, some people stand on the corner with a big joint in their hand, and then sure enough, there's a guy who just like, it was just so funny, and all of a sudden here you are, you show up. Oh my God, of course, this is astounding.
So I was gonna say, I think it's fucking one of these restaurants right here on the
And
left.
that's where you got the food poisoning, huh?
Yeah, just watch out over there. That's
Oh my
all I'm
God!
saying.
Well, I think I'm going way over there to the end. He said something about the end of the pier.
I just talked to the girl I was with last night, and she said she got sick as fuck too.
This is crazy, man.
Just give me a heads up.
Well, are you going to talk to the manager or let anybody know?
Absolutely not.
No, you're not going to tell him because imagine how many other people are getting poisoned and they're just not saying
I'm sure somebody else will tell him.
anything. Rated number 10 as most food poisoned restaurant on Santa Monica Pier. Right?
Well, I mean, 10 to 10 is not a bad spot to be.
We are rated 10. This is the place to go. All you bulimics out there, this is the place to go.
This is for sure it right here.
Oh no! What's it called?
Shit.
The Albright?
No, wait,
Is that
that's
what it
not
is?
it. Oh, the Albright.
This
That's
one.
exactly the
The
one.
Albright. That's where you got your food poisoning.
I'm still fucked up, man.
God, that's so crazy. So you were just throwing up all over the place, or what?
Dude, I literally spent my entire morning taking shits
Oh no, man.
and doing cocaine.
Oh no.
Oh shit, I
And
just
doing
passed my
cocaine.
place. I'll be back.
Okay, take care. That's so crazy. That's the guy. That's the guy I was just talking about. That's the dude I was just talking about. Oh my God. He said he came back from Afghanistan. Now thinking about it, I could have podcasted him. However, the thing is that I got his information. I sent him a text. We're going to definitely get him into the studio and hear his crazy stories of Afghanistan. And, some of these guys, they come back from there. He'd be considered a veteran, I'd say, right? Anyone who's gone into the war or comes back, they're a veteran of that war, of that foreign war. Oh, the sights. Oh, the sounds. Oh my God, it's been so long since I've been out here. This is incredible. What the? Wow. This is great. I gotta tell you, it's an extra added bonus having the buzzing around in the back of your brain. So I was just gonna say,
You threw a real nice one.
this is another fun example. You get to experience this as it happens, the magic. I didn't even know that guy was walking along the pier. That's crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. Of course, right? Of course. Oh my God. And this is the cool thing too. This is the thing I meant to tell you. I when I was on the subway, when I was on the first subway, I was doing the Bashar Cube, as they call it, reality transformation, transformative shifting, something like that. And I mean, it's a cube. I think I've talked about it before on here. Look it up online and check it out. Look up Bashar Cube. Oh, transformative shifting. That's what it's called. Look it up and try it out. Test it out. It works best when you write down your dreams and your synchronicities because, man, it amplifies them. Oh, we're out here. Everybody's crowding around, some kind of dancing. Oh, some little kids doing the what do they call it? The shuffle. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's amazing. Very rarely do you see DJs doing this kind of stuff when they're just doing it free. You know, they're just doing it out here, doing it for the fun of everybody. I love it. All these people from all these places. They all got their stories. They've all got their intentions. They've all got their excitements. They've all got their dreams, their synchronicities, their astounding stories. Each and every single one of these people have something exciting and important to say. And yet, I bet a lot of these folks probably don't feel that way. They probably feel they're missing the mark. Or am I just projecting? Am I projecting? Am I feeling like I'm missing the mark? That's something to go down the rabbit hole on. Am I missing the mark? What's the mark I'm trying to hit? Let's define that real quick. What's the mark we're trying to hit? Oh, pardon me. What's the mark we're trying to hit? Well, the mark is basically the intention, the pure intention of a process of creating. Yeah, I think I'm nearing the place I need to go to. Let's see. We need to make a change of how we're traveling along this pier. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hands on the knees. Hands on the knees. So, it's just fun. I mean, it's you know, that's part of the joy is when you're in crowds is finding out ways of weaving around. A lot of the folks on this pier are adhering to the walking on the right side rule. Look at this. Here we are. Last time I came here, I think this place was closed. It's called Marisol. I'm going to go in there and see where the heck Josh and associates are hanging out. More on this later. More on this later. So I got to the end of the pier. I texted Josh, let him know I was here, and he said he's parking now. So I'm going to meet him at the entrance to this pier. I would not be surprised if I happen to see Ryan. Ryan is the guy I met on the Afghanistan veteran. I met on the subway. He gave me the vodka drink. Feeling really good. Enjoying a fun time here with the people. Maneuvering around, watching the vibes. It's kind of like Donnie Darko. In fact, that's what I'm kind of visualizing here. Donnie Darko. In that movie, there you see he's so in tune with sort of the future, you know, with the all that is. What happens is in that movie you start seeing kind of like in the movie The Abyss. You see him, because in the abyss you see this creature, this sort of like gelatinous underwater sort of transparent creature that's moving around down there underwater, way down in the deep, and you see him, you know, you see that happening, and so in Donnie Darko there's something similar where the more he gets in tune with what's going on, you start seeing this sort of invisible gelatinous thing that's just kind of going moving out of his sort of like solar plexus, and it moves before he moves. It goes there. His intention, it's like you see the intention before he arrives. You see him sitting down on a I think you see him like sitting down on a couch or something. Oh, by the way, the Albright. Okay, if you're on the Santa Monica Pier, the Albright. That's where you get food poisoning. So in case you want to get that, that's there for you.
The gospel of Jesus Christ.
Oh, here we go.
God, our Creator, loved us and sent His only Son into this world. Christ took our sin upon Himself. He died on the cross and rose again.
I wonder what would happen if I started walking around and I started talking about USU, ubiquitous serendipitous ubiquity, and I just blasted it out there. The ancient scrolls say... The ancient scrolls say this. The ancient scrolls say that. So, it's intriguing when you think about that idea of our intention, where it's going, and how it fits into the landscape of everything else that's going on. So I'm envisioning that. What I've noticed is I'll have thoughts in my brain of what direction I want to go in, where I want to go, what direction I want to go in, how I'm going to get there, and moment by moment. So I might have this idea in my brain as to what direction I'm going in, and the person that I'm walking behind then goes in that direction. So then now what I'm trying to do is, because then that's making me think, because I have a whole story attached with this that happened in Columbia College. Then that makes me think, okay, am I so in tune? Am I tuning in that moment so much that I'm almost predicting where these people are going? So rather than it's me moving there, maybe it's I'm predicting what other people will do. And then I get bent out of shape if I go in that direction and then they're, moving slow or cut me off, who knows what. I'm really, see, those times, that really brings me back to the infinite patience aspect. Really, really digging into infinite patience and enabling that aspect to unfold. So many people out here, so many observations to be had here. There's no telling where these people are from, what brought them out here. Some people have that look about them like they got it all figured out. They know exactly where they're going. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what the next plan of events are. They know what next restaurant they're going to. They get, a lot of these folks, they got this stuff planned out. You see it in their eyes. You see it in their sunglasses. You see it behind the sunglasses. Look, there's an 8. Someone just walked past with an 8. Of course, there's a dragon on it. Flaming dragon. 8. Infinity, baby. Of course. Marvel. Of course, that shows up. What a marvel it is to be involved in this kind of madness. And on top of that, the one guy back there had a Marvel t-shirt. And then, bam, over here, the little boy who just walked in front of him had an Avengers t-shirt. Wow, we're just going to sit here and point out all the synchronicities, all of the parallels, all of the commonalities and connections that we see while we're out here. Because, so Lyft now has a scooter. There's something else called wheels where you could kind of sit on this thing. It zips you along. I like those. I'd probably ride something like that. Standing up, well, I don't know. Who am I? I haven't ridden a scooter yet. Is it my paranoia in giving yet another person my private information? Yes, possibly. Now, how does that play? How does that come into play with the manifestation of reality? How does that come into play with, knowing that you create your own reality? If I'm fearful of that, if I'm, trying to discourage that aspect, am I encouraging more? They say the things you move away from are the things that keep persisting. And yet, in addition to that, we still have things that we prefer, still have things that we would much rather do than things we don't do. What do we do then? That's an interesting situation to be in then. So do we... Okay, this answer just blipped to my antenna. Maybe what we do is maybe what we do then is we do the best we can in just simply dreaming up what we do want. That's what it is. And just not filling the brain space of what we don't want. And not thinking about it, not perpetuating it, not worrying about it happening. That could be something. Just simply following towards the things that we like. I'm going to give Josh a little text here. At Colorado and Olympic, we're going to send him a little something here. All right, let's see how this works. That's great, that cough. That dude just coughed. I was just going to comment on the fact that I think I cough more than I know. You know, when you're in the middle of doing your own habit, you don't realize what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. I remember watching a wedding video, and the guy was almost constantly licking his lips. Almost constantly. And you know, I remember one time my buddy Jimmy telling me, oh yeah, you know, something about back in at COD or something when I met him. He's like, oh yeah, you were licking your lips a lot. And it makes me wonder, like, what? Licking my lips a lot? I didn't realize I was doing that. Well, there you go. You don't know. You don't know until you see yourself on camera, observed in your most unexpected state of mind. When you're out there, you're not aware. You're not aware of what you're doing. None of us know what we're doing. This is why reality shows must be such an interesting wake-up call to people who choose to have their lives recorded. Well, in addition to the idea that editing plays a large part. I mean, you could let's say for instance you're talking with someone and then you know they say something about well, I love pickles, and then all of a sudden I go pickles, bleh, you know, and I make that face, bleh. Well, the reality show people, they edit that into a different reaction for a different conversation. So they're playing with your reality. They're playing with your reality. Any of you who watch reality shows, and you probably already know this, and I probably don't have to tell you this, but it's good to be reminded, reality, it's more like surreality. It's a reality type of thing. It's a dream reality. It's a reality that's invented by the people who are editing it together, composing it together. Here's another thing I'd like to say. You know what's so interesting? Is that there are so many people, so many different variations, so many delightful variations. I love watching people. There's so many different kinds. See, you look at these folks, and just when you think you've seen all kinds of different, all the different variations of people, bam, now all of a sudden you see them out there in the wild. It's happened on a couple occasions where I've seen people out there in the wild who I have drawn in the past or I've painted in the past. And then there they are. And then there they are. I've painted them in the past, and there they are. So did I paint them into existence? You know, we could play with that idea that they didn't even actually exist until I imagined them. Now, there's the other, an additional side of the coin, where they already existed, and I just somehow knew it. I just somehow tuned into their existence and brought them into a physical, you know, how should I put it? I drew them. I already knew they existed, and then I drew them. And then I saw, and they already existed. I drew them, and then I saw them. I love seeing the different combinations of couples, too. I love it. I love it. Something that's fascinating to me is seeing how different couples' butts match up. I don't know why. This is something I'd like to do. I don't even have to explain it, nor do I have to, it's interesting to see the butts, how they match up. When they're walking with each other down the street, do their butts start at the same height? That's something I tend to look at. Sometimes I'll look at ladies out in the wild, anybody out in the wild, and then I'll wonder. And then I'll wonder, is this like an Instagram person? Is this someone who's an Instagram person? particularly when I see people taking, photos of themselves everywhere. Is this one of those Instagram people who's got like 10,000 followers? This happened in the past. I have a podcast episode called Search for Inspirado Projecto Anamarte, Anamarte. Anamarte. Yeah, try that one. I was in an Uber. Driving in an Uber. I was coming back from teaching an after-school improv class that my buddy Darren Tunder teaches, and he sometimes calls me in to sub for him. And I was in the Uber, and she hopped in. I just started interviewing her, and then I look at her up on Instagram. She's got, like 10,000 followers or something. And you never know anything. One person's value system is another person's it doesn't even exist. It's like that girl existed independently of her Instagram status, with or without all of her followers. I wonder if that changes the perception of people's minds when they know that someone has people watching what they're doing, and then is that in the back of their brain of thinking, holy cow, I'm talking to this person who has 100,000 followers or whatever. Am I sort of good enough to be one of those followers? Well, people who appreciate the art that you're doing, any sort of art that anybody's doing, they're all shapes and sizes, all kinds of intellects, all kinds of nomenclatures. And to go along with that, what kind of society do we really want to... Okay, let's see, put it this way. Okay, let's say someone had 1 million followers, and all those followers are just very shallow, very light-minded, very low-hanging fruit, that kind of stuff. So, if those are the followers that they have, do you want to be associated with that kind of crowd? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But don't feel bad. I mean, think about the VIP sections. Think about who's in the VIP sections. Think about those specialized things. Each and every single one of these peoples has hopes, dreams, struggles, etc., etc., etc. Let's say someone in a VIP place has like 1 million followers. Let's say they got 1 million followers. And they're just like, let's say one of those people or a bunch of those people are rich, but they're completely unsatisfied with their lives. Is that what you're looking for? To be that rich person unsatisfied with life? Do you want to be? You could switch perspectives to the starving artist, so to speak, quote, starving artist, unquote, who is living paycheck to paycheck, perhaps. And I'm not saying it's these two extremes. I'm not by any means. It's just an interesting experiment. So let's say you're the starving artist, so to speak. You're living paycheck to paycheck. However, you're afforded the ability to do exactly what you want to do, however you want to do it, whenever you want to do it. Like, for instance, I had a conversation at one of the latest meetings for KaPow, and I found some interesting secrets. Some very, very interesting secrets about all kinds of behind-the-scenes stuff. some of these people, some of these, let's say, influencers on Twitter, they have, and actors and actresses for that matter, some of these people who are really high up that we go, you know, I want to be like that person. I want to be more successful than them, or I want to be just as successful as them, or I want to, you know, be in that position. And then you look at what that life is actually truly composed of, and it's you know, a lot of, like, you know, some of these folks have like 5 or 6 handlers telling them what direction to go in, what drink to choose. Like I heard, for instance, let's say for instance you're doing catering at a let's say the Kardashians. You're doing catering there, and let's say Kardashians have some kind of deal with Pepsi, and Pepsi is giving them big time money. They require you to sign an NDA before you even do catering, before you even working at that place, because if you take photos of their kid drinking, let's say they got Coca-Cola in the fridge, and that is a dynamic motorcycle right there. Oh my God, that's a dynamic motorcycle. I can't even describe that monster, that beast. That music you heard was coming off a big motorcycle. It looked very sort of medieval in nature, kind of Renaissanceical. I've never seen Game of Thrones, but it's, you know, that Game of Thrones type of vibe. So do you want to have a series of handlers telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it? They're building your brand. They're telling you when to post your Instagram stuff. They're oh boy, look at this. Here I am, and there's a guy who rode up to the stoplight wearing a Rockstar shirt. I'm sure he's endorsed by them. He's called the Wheelie King. Let me see if I can take a picture of this guy. The Wheelie King. There he is. As he rode up to the stoplight, he had a wheelie going. Oh my God! And then he puts the wheel down. He puts the wheel down, stops, and then I see on the front of his thing it says the Wheelie King, and there's some blinking lights. Oh my gosh! You never know who you're gonna come across out here. So folks, just think twice about it. You know, it's up to you. Do you want to have a bunch of people telling you what to do, where to go? People you got to answer to before you do stuff. A whole team of people sculpting your existence. We look at some of these stars and we go, why are you so depressed? Why are you killing yourself? Why are you on heroin? By the way, I got a strange vibe right now from Joaquin Phoenix. I'm actually worried for him. I'm worried for Joaquin Phoenix right now. Something tells me he's on heroin, and I don't want to say it out loud, and I did not spread that rumor. It's just reminding me of the Philip Seymour Hoffman stuff. You know, you look at Joaquin Phoenix interviews. That's all. I'll just leave it at that. Except for this. The new Joker trailer is phenomenal. Check out that Joker trailer. Oh my God, check out the Joker trailer. People keep telling me that I look just like him. Well, when he's dressed as Joker, they keep telling me that's you. That's you with your beard shaved and your hair shorter. That's you right there. It's like, wow. It is. It's crazy to see it. It's crazy to see it. Added to the fact that some of the stuff that happens in that trailer echo some of what goes on in the movie Legend of Fall Creek, the movie that I acted in that we're going to be getting out there into the world. So just think about that. Do you want to be that person who is being led around, told what to do, what not to do? Or do you want to be that person who's just sort of, you're wild, you're free, you're doing what you want? And you don't know what's going to happen. Some of these handlers, they got your entire life worked out throughout the whole year. Okay, during fall, we're going to do this whole thing. During winter, we're going to do that whole thing. During summer, we're going to do this whole thing. And they already got it all planned out. It's really, really quite interesting. I just saw a kid pass by me who could have possibly been someone that I had substitute taught for before. It's tricky sometimes. And some of these kids, some are they're growing facial hair. They're taller. There's a gal remember substitute teaching for, and I I ended up seeing her, you know, a year later or something, walking around with this kid late at night. I'm thinking, okay, this girl's what, 15? They're all walking late at night, and I thought, oh, okay, something's going to happen there. And sure enough, within a few months, I saw her get a little bit bigger. And then, you know, throughout the year, all of a sudden, bam, there they were walking through the streets, and she's pushing a baby carriage. My heart goes out to that situation. It's not my kid. What if that was my kid? Those kids I substitute taught for, those are my kids. I cared for those guys. Every once in a while, I'll see them out there in the wild, and it's quite intriguing. All right, folks, I'm going to go look for Josh Eisenstadt right now. Thank you for listening to this extraordinary rambling session. We will talk to you more later. You're listening to Inspirado Projecto.